Hey, this is Dr. Gangemi, and in this Sock Doc video, I want to talk about gluten allergies and gluten sensitivities. So a lot of people think that they may be allergic to gluten or sensitive to gluten, and maybe they're not. A lot of people are just sort of following the fad because being gluten-free today is kind of the way to go. Companies are marketing this so well, they even put, gluten-free on a bag of apples or gluten-free on some heavy cream, products that are clearly not going to be containing gluten, which is wheat, rye, barley, and sometimes oats if they've been cross-contaminated. So how do you know if you have a true gluten allergy? Well, first, understand that the wheat of today, or these gluten products of today, are not the same that they used to be way back when. With a couple processes called deamidation as well as hybridization, they've actually changed how our wheat products are once they get to our table. The deamidation process actually combines other forms of the wheat and makes it different than what it was when it was growing. So it's no longer this whole grain single source by the time it gets to your plate or packaged food or whatever you're eating. And then there's a hybridization process that basically is combining acids and enzymes to the wheat, to the gluten product to make it more water soluble. So it's easier to mix and easier to create, breads, cookies, pastries, and all these other products for you. So again, it's not these whole grain products that you think that you're getting, so it's much harder for people to digest them. And they're actually creating allergic responses in people and even autoimmunity issues such as celiac. So what about celiac? Do you need to be a celiac patient? Do you need to have celiac disease to be allergic to wheat? Absolutely not. That's only one type of actual gluten allergy. And a lot of people don't think that they have a gluten sensitivity because they go to their doctor and they have the standard transglutaminase 2 enzyme test done and they say, well, no, that's negative, you don't have a gluten allergy. But realize that there's many other tests that would determine if you are allergic to gluten, if you have a gluten issue, that some labs are starting to do. And there's a transglutaminase 3 enzyme that's more specific for an allergic reaction with your skin, not your digestive tract. And a transglutaminase 6 enzyme that has to do with an allergic reaction to your actual nervous system. So you can have a gluten allergy to your nervous system. That's a huge deal. Maybe it's what's causing you to have some brain fog. Maybe it's what's causing you to have concentration issues, or your kid may be having ADD or developmental issues because they're eating gluten, and it's not a celiac issue. And there's other markers for other types of gluten type sensitivities too that companies are slowly starting to understand, but unfortunately it's not out there yet very well in conventional medicine. So you might want to just stay away from gluten just to see how you feel. Gluten also hinders absorption of a lot of other nutrients like calcium and magnesium and zinc. So if you're eating a lot of gluten-containing products, you're not going to absorb certain minerals very well. And don't just think that eating gluten-free is a healthy thing. A lot of gluten-free products are no better than the original ones that were made with gluten. They're putting more sugar in them, more processing, more legumes and beans and tapioca flours, and a lot of these flours that are not very healthy for you, and binders and stabilizers to make them truly gluten-free. Just stick with natural foods. Shop around the outside of your supermarket, like maybe you've heard. Eating, vegetables and fruits, meats, dairy, and focus on these things that are unprocessed and are wheat, rye, barley free. Make sure your oats are gluten-free too, if you're eating those sorts of things. So overall, look at the whole big picture of how you function when you eat gluten. Realize you can live a very healthy life without eating gluten, and probably if you're truly not allergic to gluten, you're probably going to be even healthier and notice more energy, notice your sleep to be better, notice better athletic performance and an overall sense of well-being just by lowering your gluten intake, or even just getting rid of it for a while. See how you feel. It's not going to hurt you. It might even save you some money if you're eating a lot of gluten. And you can always go back to it and see if it makes you feel worse. Check it out and investigate that on your own health, and you can probably figure out if you have a gluten sensitivity on your own without needing to see some sort of specialist. Hope you enjoyed this video. Lots of other information on diet and nutrition over at the Sock Doc site. Lots of natural treatments and injury prevention ideas on the Sock Doc site, and health topics, shoe reviews, minimalist running, and barefoot running. Lots more videos coming out. Hope you enjoyed this one, and thanks for watching. Bye.